And it's true.
All righty, let's get started. As always, I want to thank you guys for being here today. I appreciate you being able to show up because I know how busy everybody's lives are, and there's always other stuff we could be doing. I'm standing in as the invisible gal today.
Good.
Whatever. It's the disembodied, parts. So let's start with some check-ins, and let's start with you, Dana, since you're you're first on my screen. So
Probably good because I have to leave at 12:30. I can put you on the auto dial part. I'm good. I made the best alkalizer I've had yet.
woohoo!
So it was kale and celery. I added lemon juice to it. Well, lemon, a whole lemon.
Yeah.
And it kind of broke down the kale enough that it tasted better.
Cool. So are you just using straight kale or are you using any other greens?
I had kale, bok choy. I'm out of bok choy now. Romaine and celery, avocado, an apple, and the lemon. That was what was in it.
Cool. That sounds awesome. Yeah, I like kale in them, but I don't like all kale. If the only green I'm using is kale, that's like too much kale for me.
When I added so the one I made yesterday, I didn't do the lemon juice, and I thought, God, I really just don't like this. So I added the lemon, and it just like totally changed the flavor.
How do you
I can
feel
do
about
that every
parsley?
day.
How do you feel about parsley?
It's not my favorite. I have some your allergy. I have some of that ready to go, and mint would be good in there.
Yeah. So spice it up a little bit. Parsley not for you, obviously, but cilantro, dill, those are all good. And swapping out the quantities of the greens. So one day more kale, one day more bok choy, because that changes the flavor profile as well.
Mm-hmm.
So lots of different things you can do. How about the water and the breathing?
Water and breathing is good. I missed it one day last week. I don't remember why. I just got busy and wasn't near water. And I found water and I just chugged like 3 of them because I was just so dehydrated.
Cool. Can you get a little bit closer to your camera for a second? And talk, because I want to see you, not me.
Can you hear me now?
Yeah, there we go. Yeah, so I think I'm seeing what I think I'm seeing. Your skin looks more vibrant to me. Have you noticed that yet?
No, it still rips just as easy.
Well, yes, mine rips just as easy as well, but mine has become much more elastic and vibrant's the word that I use. More lifelike looking. Less
Well, the
dull.
smoke's kind of cleared so I can breathe again, so that's...
I'm sure that's helping.
I was kind of blue last week.
Yeah.
It wasn't good.
Are you noticing any other changes yet?
My bowels aren't as runny.
Good.
So that's good.
Yeah, I think you're going to really start to see some stuff coming up this week. Toward the end of the week for you probably, because I know you don't have a whole bunch of preservatives to get rid of. So I think the biggest issue for you will be the caffeine, most likely, but we'll talk about that some more near the end.
Or the alcohol.
Oh yeah, there's that. We'll talk about that near the end too. Cool. Anything else you want to add? You feeling good?
No, I feel good.
Cool. All righty. Stan, what's going on with you?
Hi. Water and breathing are okay. And alkalizers are okay, except I missed yesterday. And I think I was just being rebellious, to tell you the truth. So anyway, I'm back on the wagon, on the alkalizer wagon.
So what did you do
So that's it.
yesterday instead of your Alka-Geyser?
I had, I'm embarrassed, but this is what happened. I had some panko covered chicken that I just popped into the toaster oven to cook. And part of it was I think I was just tired of making stuff from scratch. I don't really think there was any emotional connection. I think it was mostly I just wanted something that was quick, that and hot, because it's been cold in the house for a few days. But yeah, I mean, I realized at the time that was not really part of the program, so I won't be repeating that.
Okay, here's another thought for you, Stan. If what you want is something hot, you actually can warm up the Alka-Geyser and have it as a soup.
Huh. That's actually a good thought.
I've done that before, and I think it's absolutely fine. And that's
Yeah, it makes sense.
yeah.
I mean, it's all vegetables. It'd be a vegetable soup.
Exactly. And as we're coming into winter, I'm with you. I don't necessarily want cold Alka-Geyser in the morning when the house is cold. And especially since I really did give up my coffee intake completely, I'm not starting the day off with something hot. So give that a try the next time you think you're
Okay.
hot. Cool.
It's a good thought. I was actually thinking yesterday evening about vegetable soup, so this will be a good approximation of that.
Yeah, nice.
I want to do a butternut squash. That sounds really good.
Well, did you see the recipe on the video today? That's the recipe of the week.
Oh, I didn't see it.
Yeah. So on the right-hand side of the video, where the food guidelines are, and then down at the bottom, they've got recipe of the week. So it's already made WildFit friendly for you, except for at the very end. I think they forgot to change the part because it says you can top it with something, goat cheese and something else. And I'm thinking, yeah, no, need to edit that one, guys. Because we are not going to be having goat cheese this week. Cool. Anything else for you, Stan?
Nope.
Are you noticing any changes so far yet, or not really?
Not really. I'm waiting for my body to adjust to all this extra fruit and vegetables in a
Less bathroom intensive fashion?
thank you. That's what I was groping for. Yes.
You'll get there. You really will.
Okay. Yep. I think so. And we're not talking about the coming enhancements at this point in the call, right?
Nope, not yet. We'll get back to that.
Okay.
'Cause I don't
Okay,
wanna-
then
I
I'm
don't
all
wanna-
good.
Yeah, I don't want to derail us on check-ins because I think that the enhancements will be their own conversation. Jeanette, what's going on with you?
I'm doing great. I feel great. I can tell a difference in my sleep, and I'm doing really good. I forgot to carry my water with me on Tuesday, and man, did I feel it Wednesday morning. I woke up, I was so exhausted, and I thought, oh, I need like at least a jumbo cup of coffee. And I thought, wait a second, maybe I'm dehydrated from yesterday. And I drank my water. Within like 10 minutes, I was back to feeling hyperactive again. So I'm having to remember the lessons from the first week of water, water, water. To include, I was really hungry the other day, and I thought, well, am I hungry? Am I still recovering from not drinking enough water yesterday? Nope, it was the water. So I'm having to remember those lessons from the first week, and I might actually go back this weekend and listen to them again, because there was a lot of information, I think, in that first week. I think Stan and I might be related because I had a little rebellion yesterday. I did a big FU. I'm having orange chicken. Ha! And it came, and I looked at it and went, what am I doing? Who am I saying FU to? Well, you ordered it. And I sat there and looked at it, and I was with my son. And he just takes a deep sigh of breath and goes, I'm eating orange chicken, and you're having the spicy eggplant, aren't you, Mom? I went, no. And I took a bite or two out of it, and I went, yes. So The poor kid had to eat my orange chicken. Well, I was thinking it was lightly battered, but the first one I had, it was like all batter and no chicken. I went, yeah, we're not doing this. You don't have enough weight on you, and I don't need sugar, and I don't need the crappy starches, and your mom was just being an idiot. So,
But only for a moment.
well, but it was that moment of rebellion going, you know what? I've been pretty damn good. I'm getting that orange chicken. That sounds really good. And then it came, and I could just envision all of the sugar and all that crap. And I went, what am I doing? No, I'm going to take a bite of it. I'm going to force myself. And I ate it. And he went, okay, Mom, that's enough. We'll switch it out. So, because
that's really great awareness, though. And I guess the only thing that I would say with regard to that is the next time you're thinking, I'm going to be rebellious, if you can have that conversation in your head with your food devil before you actually order it, remember this one. Remember what your experience was, yeah?
Yeah, exactly. I just need to be more cognitive of it. So one of the reasons I love having, I make a fruit shake in the morning. It's great because it's easy, fast, and I'm out the door. And then I bought tons of plastic cups from Amazon. And so I'll make my Alka-Geyser. I've got a fridge out in the garage, and I'll have 3 or 4 there ready to go, pack my lunch, I'm done. That's the one thing I think that I'm learning the most from this is I need to plan my meals like I plan my day. I plan my day. I know exactly what I'm going to do throughout the day, but I figure out the meals as I go, and I have to stop that habit. That's a dangerous habit. It's a non-productive habit. So, but I'm feeling good. I will confess that sugar is not completely out of my diet. I'm not watching everything. I am watching, but I know that it's still sneaking its way in, but I'm making cognitive decisions. So I'm not 100% sugar-free, but I will get there.
Well, what's an example of that you could give me, Jeanette? Where you're
what would be an example? We made homemade. We made homemade pizzas. I used cauliflower crust, and the pizza sauce had to make sugar in it. Not enough for me to freak out about it, but enough to like, yep, I am acknowledging that I'm putting sugar on this, but everything else I've been eating has been sugar-free and clean.
Cool. And yeah, I mean, that is one of those things that you can find without sugar added. You just got to look a little harder.
Right. We have good contadina pizza sauce. We like it. And anyway, Alka-Seltzer, totally love it. Can you add tomatoes to the Alka-Geyser, or is that considered a fruit, so I shouldn't?
No, actually in Wild Fit, even though it technically is a fruit, we count it as a vegetable.
Awesome.
So yeah, so if you want to put tomatoes in, that's great. And then once you have that experience, you may find, as Stan and I both have, and by the way, if you're related to Stan, that means you're related to me too, right?
That's correct. It's just Stan and I seem to make the same decisions around the same time, which I think is hysterical.
It is pretty funny,
I
actually.
had a moment rebellion. It wasn't pink. It was orange.
I'm enjoying
yes.
that part. You may find that you don't like the color of the Alka-Geyser when you start putting red stuff in it, but I think it tastes fine.
Yeah, I don't really care.
Okay.
I don't really care as long as it tastes good, and I'll give it a shot. I've got tomatoes in my garden. I'll throw them in and see what we can do.
Cool.
And I've noticed that I feel more refreshed today, and I know we're not getting into this yet, but this morning I woke up and went, oh, I feel great. I don't even need coffee, but oh, I love coffee. And so I was pouring doing my pour over, got halfway through when I was listening to Wild Fit. And I believe I did say, damn it, Sally. So that's something that we'll talk later about. As far as any other things, just feeling more grounded, less stressed out, more grounded. And I think you guys know that I almost took my thumb off last week. And so I had the stitches removed, and the doctor asked me how long had the stitches been in there for. And I said 10 days. He goes, wow, that's amazing. You really healed fast. And I went, really? He goes, yeah. And they gave me a 10-week recovery period from the injury that I inflicted. My hand was purple, and I don't know if you can see or not.
Oh, wow.
Blue now. So I'm healing uber fast, and I'm hoping it's because of the diet.
So let me like glom onto that for a moment. At some point, Eric tells this story about, I think he had oral surgery. And the same thing, had stitches in his mouth, went back to the dentist, and I think it was like 2 weeks later. I don't know if I've got this exactly correct, but it's very, very similar. And the dentist said, you know, you were supposed to come back like 2 weeks after the surgery. And he said, it is. He said, well, you look like you're completely healed, as I would expect to see at the end. Same thing. And it is from getting the nutrition straightened out. Everything heals faster. You know, one of my examples, I'm forever you can't see it. I'm forever banging myself up. This breaking of my arm was somebody at, I went to their house. They've got a big St. Bernard Great Pyrenees puppy. They got really happy and the paw came out and just raked down my arm, ripped me open. Kind of like I looked up in Oregon, Dana, when I did it on the electrical box. But instead of having it take months to heal, you know, I'm like practically completely healed in about 2.5 weeks.
Mm-hmm.
So my skin's still super thin, but I heal a whole lot faster.
Yeah. Well, yeah, the doc said, you know, we'll take the stitches out in 10 days. And when they went to go remove it, it was completely healed over, so that it just pulled right through, no tension, no nothing. And I've been putting CBD oil on it and rubbing it. And they said it'd take me about 4 weeks to get movement in my thumb.
Wow.
And then they said 10 weeks before I can actually pick something up, and I can now pick things up. So, because it went right to the bone, folks. But yeah.
Well done. Well done.
I have to believe it's because of that. I really do.
Cool. Well,
for me,
that should be part of your WildFit testimony, right? To get that awareness, that healing is like really amazing. Excellent. Linda, good morning. Good afternoon.
Hello there. Hi, everybody.
So what's going on with Linda?
Good. I continue to drink my water, just so much of it, but I did quit drinking so much more in the evening, and last night it was great. I slept throughout the night without having to get up, which is good. Staying true to the diet, or to the lifestyle of WildFit, and I've done everything I was supposed to do, upping my fruit, adding more vegetables to the alkalizer. So that's been going well. This morning when I listened to Eric, take away my coffee, I'm like, okay, not a big deal. I can go back anytime I want to it. And I said, what can I replace it with that's going to give me that satisfaction, hot, spicy type of flavor coffee has, you know, that kick. So I was curious to know, can we have caffeine-free teas during this time for a replacement? Because I still have almond milk. I could pour the almond milk in the hot tea, let it steep a little longer, and then maybe that could be satisfactory for me for a while.
So when you say caffeine-free, do you mean naturally caffeine-free or decaffeinated?
Oh, well, I know decaffeinated coffee actually still has caffeine in it. So I'm not going there. I'm talking about the tea, caffeine-free teas.
Naturally caffeine-free.
Yes, yep.
Yeah, that's fine. That's fine.
Okay, good. So that's one question. I took a sweet potato, Sally, because I really needed that comfort food. And so I did chop it up. I baked it this time instead of trying to air crisp it for about 4 minutes. And then I broiled it for about 2 minutes. It came out finally today, perfect. So I had that with uncured, uncured, toxin-free bacon and some egg whites with 1 yolk. And so it just holds me for hours and hours.
Cool.
Yeah, so I was really happy about that. I noticed, I hope I don't gross you guys out, but I mean, we've talked about everything, but my sinuses, I've noticed that the mucus is thinner and not so heavy and thick like it had been in the past. It's allergy season for me. So the mucus has definitely settled down.
Nice.
Yeah. So and usually I always have an issue with the sinuses. And then my afternoon naps. So here are the little people talking. Oh, Linda, you got a long afternoon. Go close your eyes for 20 minutes. Okay, I'll do that. I'm not tired, but I'll go do that. So I laid on my bed, closed my eyes. I couldn't sleep for the life of me. So that afternoon, noontime sleepiness is definitely starting to subside.
Nice.
So I'm like, oh my gosh, this is awesome. I have like, I don't know, maybe the beginning of arthritis or something, but that inflammation is settling down. So I'm able to do more mobility and more stretching for long periods of time without, oh, that hurts, or oh, that hurts, you know, so I'm really happy about that. Let's see here. The alcohol, I'm fine. I don't need it. Caffeine, I do have a question about the caffeine. Now, you know that I get really super bad headaches.
Mhm.
So caffeine works like a charm. That hot cup of coffee, man, I'll start drinking it down and relaxing with the heat on my neck, and it goes away pretty well. Is there something else I can do besides taking a medication to help with that?
Well, you can use arnica, which is a homeopathic.
I have arnica.
Yeah. So you may find that that'll help. The other thing that I would do is if you start to feel a headache coming on, take a breathing meditation break right away as soon as you notice the first twinge,
Okay.
because that'll reduce the stress, and that will, I think that'll help. And I would expect it not to last very long. I mean, you're probably, you may not be able to avoid headaches entirely,
Mhm.
but I really don't think it'll last very long, especially with all of the good stuff that you're already noticing. The reduced inflammation, having gotten rid of the sugar, your body is already significantly changing how it responds to things. So I understand anticipating headaches from caffeine withdrawal, but don't borrow trouble.
Okay, I will. And the last thing is, you know, I've increased my fruit a lot, and what I noticed on the increase is my stomach upset, a stomach ache. It's like, oh, my stomach hurts today. And it'll be like kind of achy throughout the day. So will that eventually go away, or should I cut back on the fruit? What's your suggestion?
Well, I would say that you probably are getting a little bit more than is really optimally good for you. So maybe cut it back just a little bit.
Okay. Okay. And I'm adding more variety of fruits together too. So like the figs, the kiwi today, I learned that do not forget to take that mango seed out when you harvest the whole thing. This morning I just plopped it in there, forgetting to take the seed out. Well, then I had to start all over.
Oh, you were doing it in a smoothie?
Yeah, I had to throw it all away. Yeah. Another thing I've done too is to start with an apple in the morning, and then for the hunger, I take my fruit smoothie out to my workout room. And one last thing, and I don't want to take up too much more of your time, is that through the meditation practice, for God's sake, Sally, my mind is so much more relaxed. I'm like, what the heck? I cannot meditate more than 10 or 15 minutes without like, okay, I gotta go. 20 minutes today, and I was totally relaxed. So that's a change.
Yeah, it's pretty amazing how straightening out your nutrition has such an effect on everything else in your life. It truly does. It truly does. So good awareness.
Thanks.
Cool. Sandra, can you unmute? It looks like you're driving. Or is that just a still frame? There we go.
Okay. Can you hear me?
How are you?
Yeah, I'm okay. Getting a little hungry. So I'm getting a little annoyed and having a hard time sometimes still with not being able to eat whatever I want. Like, you know, because everything has sugar. And right now I just finished doing a shopping trip for my parents and myself at Costco.
I see that.
So I got some organic chicken for me. I got some plum cots for me as well. But then my parents had an order, so I picked up they wanted their muffins and they wanted their hot dogs. So I picked it up for them. So it's kind of just tough, because I'm around it all the time.
Mm-hmm.
So it's been a little tough, but doing okay. I did have a little soda this week. Not gonna lie.
Good.
Didn't have a lot, but I did have a few ounces of soda because there were some days that I'm just like, I'm tired. I need something, and I know it's a combination of my MS and right now with my multiple sclerosis and losing my job, my insurance work is paying for a COBRA for 3 months, but it's been hard to get set up, so I'm late on my treatment. So that doesn't help the situation. I go in for an infusion every month.
Mm.
So I think that's another reason why I kind of feel not the best. But
Let me ask you this question, and seriously think about this one for me. When you decided to have the soda, how did it make you feel after you did?
the same pretty much. Like
So-
I used to think oh, the caffeine's gonna wake me up and give me a boost of energy, but not really.
So if it's not helping, can you recognize that it might actually be hurting?
I haven't gotten to that yet.
Okay. I'm just asking.
No, it's okay.
But pay attention to it.
But yeah, and I'm having a hard time because I'm I need to look up more recipes to make snacks, and because I don't want to just be drinking green juice all day, for when I'm hungry. Because there is a couple days that I did let myself get hungry, and that was not good.
Yeah.
Yeah, so that's the thing. I'm I need to look up recipes. I just buy some almond butter, no sugar.
Cool.
So I'm gonna try that with some celery.
Mm-hmm.
But just I need to find some snacks. I have nuts. To find some other ideas. As far as water, still going okay. But I bought some herbal tea that I want to brew and not add sugar. Just drink it. It helps me to drink the water more.
Mm-hmm.
That, and then I found that we have Jamaica, it's hibiscus at home, so I wanted to try boiling that as well for my water. No sugar, just the hibiscus.
Sure. No, that sounds good.
Yeah.
Let's talk about the food a little bit for you. Okay.
Okay.
How do you feel about sweet potatoes?
Sweet potatoes are not bad. What's bad is that I went to Costco right now, and the thing is, because we've talked about this before, because my parents aren't joining me on my my challenge here, it's hard because I'm I don't want to buy a bag of 9 pounds of potatoes just for me, because I did see that they had them. But yes, I need to go to another store and just get a smaller package.
Well, surprisingly, especially if you can get your parents to eat them at all, I can go through a bag of sweet potatoes from Costco without having them go bad by myself.
Really?
Yep.
Now, what are you doing for snacks? I need snack ideas.
So I don't really snack anymore. I rarely snack. But again, that's because having gone through the challenge and gotten really on top of what I'm doing nutritionally, and I mean, today's a great example. I'm having a meat fest today. I had Polish sausage and scrambled eggs for breakfast. I had steamed shrimp for lunch, and I'm having pork loin roast for dinner. It's a total meat fest, which I don't do very often. Some days I don't have any meat at all, but today that's what I'm having. So, so for me, for snacks, on the rare occasion when I want a snack, I'll have olives. I have macadamia nuts. I'll do celery with almond butter. You know, those pistachios, especially not pistachios in the shell, because it takes more than a minute to eat them, right? So a handful of pistachios takes 10 minutes to eat if you're paying attention to what you're doing. So I do that kind of stuff. Hard-boiled eggs make really good snacks. I always keep some hard-boiled eggs in the fridge.
Yeah, I'm missing my cheese. I'm missing my cheese. I got, yeah, I was able to get a prosciutto because I'm like, usually I would like a little salami and cheese or pepperoni and cheese, but can't find anything without sugar or dextrose.
Mhm.
So just the prosciutto right now. And so I'm like, I don't have crackers to put my prosciutto on. And I was all, I guess I could just eat it by itself, but it doesn't seem as fun. So
Well, you're going to get a whole
those are
different
my
idea. You'll get a whole different idea around what's really fun as we move further and further through this.
Yeah.
Because when you decide after the challenge that you want to put some of those things back in, and you really start paying attention to how you feel when you do that, you're probably not going to do it. I mean, that's been pretty much my experience with most of that kind of stuff. Jeanette just posted up as well, carrots. Carrots are another great snack. I do a lot of cucumber. I'll do cucumber sticks. I need to put together my recipe for the spinach and artichoke dip because that's really good.
Yes, that would be great. Well, that would be good because I do like that. Like, I just need to look up more recipes because, yes, I do love cucumber. I do love avocado. But I'm like, am I just overdoing it on the cucumber and avocado? So, yeah, I just need to look up more recipes.
Yeah, we want to get as much variety as we can overall. I mean, that's a large part of the aim. So with the spinach and artichoke dip, and this is one of my favorite things to do, like when I'm camping. Usually I spend pretty much all day driving, and I'll stop when it's lunchtime, and I go into my trailer, and I make a bowl of veggies, and plop some spinach and artichoke dip in the middle of the bowl, and then I take it back to the truck when I'm driving, and I just keep snacking for the next hour or so on my veggies with spinach and artichoke dip. So yeah, that's a really good one.
That's
get a
a
lot
good
of
one.
variety.
Yeah, I just bought a bag of like stir fry vegetables
Mm-hmm.
from Costco, so I'm gonna stir fry that with chicken. I did see a bag of rice cauliflower. Again, I'm not sure if I'm ready to go there, so I didn't buy it because it's a big bag. So I was like, I need to go back to Trader Joe's and get something smaller to try it out first. Yeah.
Well, now you've got a Vitamix or a NutriBullet.
I just have the bullet, yeah.
So do you have the little one or do you have the big one?
I have the little one.
Okay.
So yeah, it takes a while to get my juice going. I saw that there's a Ninja blender at Costco and actually goes on sale next week.
Mm-hmm.
So I'm gonna go back to that starting on Wednesday. It's $20 off on Wednesday, I think, so it's like $50 or something. I was about to buy a spiralizer because they had one there too. So I almost bought it, but I was like, maybe not. I'll hold off a minute. I bought some pasta that's supposed to be that it's all vegetables, made out of vegetables, no sugar. So that's why I held off on getting the spiralizer because wasn't sure what I would use it for yet.
Well, I eat a lot of salads, and I bought the spiralizer at Costco last week or week before last, whenever it was.
Oh, you did?
Yeah, because
The Cuisinart?
yeah, because on Amazon that was $65 and at Costco it was $30. Same thing.
Well, you know, my last job was Amazon, so I'm all, forget Amazon. Just kidding. But so then what? So you spiralize your vegetables to add to your salad.
And I also use them.
Because what I think.
I use them for a base for like hot dishes as well.
Okay. And what kind of vegetables are you putting in there? Like squash or?
Yeah, so a variety of things. So one of the things that I like, because I don't want to spend forever cooking things, right? So one of the things that I'll do is I will slice up a bunch of carrots, a bunch of cucumber, a bunch of squash or whatever else I've got, beets, whatever. And then I keep those in containers in the refrigerator. I go to make a salad and all I gotta do is open the container and dump some stuff in and I'm done. So it's like super fast that way. And then I'll use zucchini or yellow squash to actually make
Okay.
zoodles. And I do a beef stroganoff that I really like. I do a
Oh, that sounds good. Well, that sounds good.
yeah. Well, we're getting into comfort food season, so. And then one of the other things I want to remind you and everybody else of is that on the page with the video, there is, like today, there's the recipe of the week, which if you click the link, it's butternut squash soup. So check that out. And don't forget that the food guidelines are there. And in addition to the tips about what's coming up for the next week and so forth, it's really helpful to read through the list of fruits and vegetables to make sure you're getting as much variety as you possibly can. That's right, butternut bacon soup.
Yeah, because right now I feel like I'm just overdoing it on bacon and sausage. I found sausage with no sugar, and chicken. I have issues with buying the meat. Freaks me out.
Why?
I'm a weirdo, I know. I wish that I didn't eat the meat. That's all.
Because,
I'm just a weirdo. Because I feel like I don't want to kill the animal.
okay, okay.
So that's just me. No, that's just me.
How do you feel about,
So
how do you feel about like shellfish and fish?
I like shrimp. So yes, I can make some shrimp. I probably should make some shrimp cocktail. That would be good. Just gotta find some stuff, no sugar. But that's a good idea.
That's easy. I'll
So
give
I'll probably just have to go out to the store again.
you.
I've been going to the store. You remember how we were talking about this? Now I've been going to the store at least 3 or 4 times a week. So it's a lot different than before.
Yep, for sure. For
So
sure.
I'll probably just drop off this order and head back and maybe go to Sprouts next to buy some more stuff. Because, yeah, I'm like right now, literally all I bought was the chicken and the vegetables.
Okay.
That was it. And the plum top.
Have you seen the video for next week? Today's?
No, but I did see, I did see what we're not allowed to have or what we're taking out.
Okay.
So, yeah, I did see that. I'm like, no more alcohol. I just bought some, but no more. So yeah, I think that was the only thing because I'm like, I don't drink coffee. The caffeine, I know that I've already been trying to cut out anyways because of the sugar. Like I said, I've only had a few ounces this week, but yeah, so I didn't buy any to keep in house.
Good, good. So it sounds like you don't have too much in the way of concerns coming into next week.
No.
Good, good. And I'm just double checking. Nobody here smokes, right? None of us are smokers. Yeah, so that part's easy. We don't even have to talk about that part.
Woo! Yeah,
Thank heaven. All right,
that was
so
a win right there.
yeah, there's a win. There's one thing we don't have to worry about. So coming up next week, it's no alcohol, no caffeine, no preservatives. So really, really, really read those labels. And if there is stuff on there that you can't pronounce, it's probably a preservative. You know, if it's not real food, it's probably going to be a preservative of some sort. What about flavorings? Remember that, you know, artificial flavorings, well, obviously they're artificial. We know better than to do that. But very often things will say natural flavorings. And basically the word flavoring means that there is stuff that's artificial in there. So in order to make it be, have the label that says natural flavorings, it can be, you know, like 99% artificial, and they only have to put a little bit of something natural in to be able to say natural flavorings. So don't be fooled by those kinds of labels. Jeanette, what's coming up for you next week that you're most concerned about? There you go.
Sorry. Probably coffee. I mean, the sugar, it's everywhere. It is freaking everywhere. I'm starting to feel like my conspiratorial gypsy Czechoslovakian grandmother. That's how they get you. That's what they do. But it's the truth. I just feel like it's everywhere. If you're not really, really looking, it's there. And then, probably the starches, because as fall hits, nice warm bread with butter, with soup sounds really good. But, one thing Czechs are very good at is making excellent soup. So soup's great. It's just not reaching for crackers or bread or tostinis to go with it.
So actually, you can make seed crackers.
Is that with seaweed?
Seed, S-E-E-D.
Oh,
Yeah, so
okay.
like, flax, chia, that kind of stuff. There are some recipes around for that. A quick Google search, because most of them I think are pretty easy to do. I haven't actually done it yet, but I've been thinking about it because every once in a while, there's nothing that beats the crunch of a cracker with a bowl of soup, except for maybe a piece of hot bread.
Well, and I was looking, I remember some time ago when I was going through chemo, something called like cloud bread, which is gluten-free, grain-free, right? But I think it's like with almond flour. But it's low carb, not carb-free.
Right.
So that's still a no-no, huh?
Well, for the challenge, it's not really going to be ideal for you, but
Okay.
certainly in the living wild fit phase, absolutely not a problem.
Okay.
And I just bought 4 pounds of arrowroot flour
Okay. Yeah.
to be able to do some baking
Yeah.
with.
Which is, what they use for the Brazilian cheese bread, is they use the arrowroot flour, obviously my cheese. So no, that's the coffee. And even like I said this morning, I felt like, I don't need that coffee. It's just part of the routine. Like Stan and I had talked about, after dinner, you have a glass of wine or something. It's part of the routine. It doesn't mean it's actually contributing to my life. But I do have visions as soon as he said that of sticking my head in a can of coffee grounds and just smelling it to wake up. But that's it. It's just probably the coffee. But hopefully if I remember to keep hydrating, I won't need the coffee or feel like I need the coffee.
Yeah, I think you'll notice a big difference as we move through next week. Less time at Veritas, perhaps.
Oh, well, can't eat the cheese already. So I was thinking, well, I'll go to Dorner's on Sunday and take my friends there because they don't have the favorite cheeses, on their menu. But then we still have the wine.
Yeah.
So maybe I will Sunday and then that's it.
Dorner's does have a nice salad.
Oh, does they? Okay.
Does
Good.
they? Yeah, they do.
Good. I didn't know that.
And if you haven't done this yet, Tehachapi Wine and Cattle Company, we shouldn't be talking about wine for next week for you, but Tehachapi Wine and Cattle Company does gourmet hot dogs that are like really, really good.
So I don't eat processed foods, so I'm not worried about that at all.
Okay.
Yeah. And, I did actually have a question about that with processed foods. So like we have a local meat market that, the butcher shop that makes their own sausages. Would that count as processed foods? Because I don't know what's necessarily in them.
If they're actually making them, they should be able to tell you.
Okay, I'll ask.
Yeah, and so, yeah, I mean, if they run down, and you'll have to ask them to give you the whole list of ingredients. So, I can't imagine if they're making them there that they're putting in, preservative crap, which is what we're most concerned about now. So,
Yeah.
So I think that should actually be fine.
Yeah.
Cool.
Well, I was eating a salad at TK's. We all went out for pizza. I got a salad, an antipasta salad, no cheese. And I sat there and started eating it and went, I wonder how long it's going to be before I have to cut salami out of my diet. Did not realize
it'd be Monday.
Did not realize. So I had a feeling that was coming down. The coffee, what the heck? When I was talking about the wine, I went, that's no problem. The coffee, someone's going to die. I'm good.
I hear you. How about you, Stan? What are you most concerned about giving up next week? You're muted, Stan.
Sorry, I thought I had clicked unmute, but I must have clicked mute by mistake. to tell the truth, I'm not really concerned. I mean, nothing that like really stands out. I think from this week there were things that I didn't want to give up, but you know, I like my tea every morning, but I'm actually kind of curious to find out how it will be to cut out caffeine. And the soda that I drink is Diet Coke. I've always liked the taste better than regular Coke. So it hasn't been a sugar issue. So I've continued drinking it this week, but now that's gone because it does have caffeine. And the caffeine free does not taste good.
No.
I don't mean that I don't get a lift from it. I mean, it just doesn't taste good to me. So I'll give those up. And I think will I miss them? Yeah. But I think also I'm really curious to see how the no caffeine thing plays out. So that makes it a little easier to take.
I think,
Go ahead.
I was going to say, I think based on the quantity of caffeine that you consume, you will likely have some headache issues. So just be aware of that coming on. But typically it doesn't last more than about 5 days. That's like the worst.
Okay. All righty. Well, we'll find out. And then as far as the wine goes, it's you know, kind of what Jeanette was talking about too. It's a habit for me, and when I have the additional, and I know it's a habit, but it's a fairly strong one, just because I've been doing it for a while. So I think that having the clear direction that I have to give that up, I think will actually make that easier to do. And I'm not really anticipating major problems with that.
Good. Good. How about you, Linda? Coffee's the biggest one for you, or unmute? I can't hear you.
Hold on. I am unmuted. Can you
There you
hear
go.
me?
Yeah, now I can.
Yeah, coffee is really the only thing that bothers me, giving it up. I enjoy it so much. That's
You
it.
have been enjoying it so much.
I still enjoy. I'm sucking up that buffer zone. I am having it Saturday and I am having it Sunday.
Michael Pollan did a podcast on, well, more than a podcast, an audio thing on Audible that I happen to have listened to. Well, we're finishing week 4 now. I happen to have listened to it when I was in week 3 of my challenge. And it was all about how bad caffeine really is for you. And as a result, I'd already been cutting down on my coffee. And as a result of listening to that, I just stopped. I mean, you know, Eric talks a little bit about caffeine being an insecticide. Michael talks about it a lot, and a bunch of other things that are just like really, really bad. So if you've got Audible, you might want to pick that one up as well.
Yeah, I was gonna watch the video. I saw the video. I'm like, ugh, watch it. Maybe I'll have the same response as I had 30 years ago or 35 years ago when I watched the video, Meet Your Meat, MEET or MEAT, and that did it in that I never had beef after that. I'm not supporting that industry. So maybe that's the effect I'll have with the coffee.
Could well be. We'll find out. We'll find out.
It'll do me good.
For sure. For sure. And Sandra, you're really going to have, I think, probably the biggest issue with saying no to the soda. Am I right? You're muted. Unmute yourself.
You know, I think I will, but I haven't been having it like, you know, before I told you I had the mini can a day. I haven't been doing a whole can. Like, if anything, I'll have half a can. And it's only been every other day. So it hasn't been every day. So it's kind of just, you know, weeding it out. So, like I said, I didn't buy any. So, giving it a try. But I'm hoping to just keep hydrated and yeah.
Cool.
So,
How about the alcohol for you?
Yeah.
Are you anticipating any issues with that?
a little. I'm glad I still have the buffer zone. But we'll see. I think the harder part is that I'm thinking of like next week, like preparing my meals and my drink, my appetizer and all that jazz. Like if I go, like next week, I plan to go and visit one of my friends. Usually I'll spend the night. So I have to make sure that all that is packed. And so that's where I'm getting like, I have to pack all that and then pack your meals. And then you have to explain to everybody what you're doing and why you're doing it and yada, yada. So I'm like, that's the part about, I'm not looking forward about going out. So.
Well, I will remind you that this is just for the challenge. I mean, keep in mind, we met at Vista Ranch and I was drinking. So you're not saying, you don't have to say goodbye to it forever.
All right. I'm okay.
So you're taking a vacation right now. And really, this is all about just giving your bodies the opportunity to really reset, to really find out what it's like to get all of the stress off. And then at the end, decide what you're willing to put back and what you're not. And maybe there's some change, at least in terms of quantity. You may decide, like Stan really likes the taste of Diet Coke. He may decide he wants to have a Diet Coke every once in a while. Or he may decide he doesn't want to, right? You may decide you want to have your little mini Cokes periodically or not. But you'll be deciding much more clearly than before we started this. True?
True. And my only other concern is what else can you guys take away?
I wonder.
Well, I feel like we're going to be left with nothing.
Well, and I will tell you truthfully that's kind of the reaction that everybody gets to after this week coming up, because this is like, for a lot of people, this is a big thing. Thank heaven none of us smoke, right? So that issue is not an issue. But no preservatives, no alcohol, no caffeine. That's like 3 more big categories of stuff that's all going away. But that's why I want you all really paying attention to the food guidelines and really, really get in the Facebook group and help each other by saying what it is that you're eating, because it'll help to give other people some ideas about what they can be eating. Okay?
Yes, please. I like that idea about the nutcrackers.
Yeah. Seed crackers.
Seed crackers, sorry.
Yeah. Nutcrackers are different. There's the big things and you crack the nuts with. Or maybe it's a sweet.
No, yeah, my bad. Sorry. I haven't had treatment, so I'm losing it. What about? Yeah, no, forget it. Can we use almond flour? Almond flour? You
can, but I'm going to tell you it's not in your best interest to be like baking things right now, right? I mean, if you want to use it as a light breading on chicken or something like that, just a dusting, that's fine. What were you thinking about it in terms of?
No, I was just thinking like when we're talking about the crackers and stuff, I was like, can you use almond flour to make anything? So,
oh yeah, you can use almond flour to make lots of things when we're out of the challenge.
Okay.
In fact, I made awesome molasses cookies a couple weeks ago.
Oh, okay.
Molasses ginger, really good, really, really good. In fact, I had to put them in the freezer pretty much right away. Otherwise, I was just going to eat all of them at once.
Oh, yum, yum, yum. I want the recipe. I love ginger.
You can't have the recipe until we're done with this because it's not challenge friendly, even though it's Wild Fit friendly.
Okay. All right. Good enough.
I'm going to give you guys that one at this point. All right. Do we have any other closing thoughts? Burning concerns for anybody?
Sally, honestly, is there anything left to take out?
You'll have to find out.
Okay.
1 week at a time. That's the way this works.
I know. I'm thinking it's like, okay, we're not eating this. We're not doing that. We're not doing that. We're not doing that. I gave up all my refreshments that I love. And so here we are.
Yeah, there you are. That's just the way it is right now.
That's okay. I'm in 100%.
I really want you guys all still paying really close attention to your food dialogues. You know, notice what's triggering you. And, you know, I'll say it again, if you have a slip, it's not the end. Don't think that, you know, having a slip means, oh, well, I'll just throw it all away and, you know, and that's the end of it. It's not. It's, you know, you have a slip, it's fine. Jump right back on, keep going where you need to be. I mean, we are going to reach a point where we're going to really encourage you to be super careful about not having slips because we want you to see the biggest impact that we can at one time. So, cool.
I want to say one thing is, you know, there was a moment, and this is something to really watch for, that I thought, you know, is this really what I want to do? You know, maybe I should quit. And I thought, oh, no, no, no. I remember aches and pains, neuropathy, all the reasons why I went back to my why. And bye-bye, stuck true to it. So.
Well done. Well done. Yeah, and that's a great point. You know, if you're feeling any of those things, if you're feeling like, well, maybe I just want to have a little of this or a little of that, remember what it was that brought you in to do this. You know, what was the point? And keep in mind, we have just finished the first full month. So we're about a third of the way in and we're still taking things out, right? So taking things out means that we're not fully like flipping over into true WildFit mode yet. We're getting there. We're making great progress. You're going to see, I think you're going to all start to see some stuff happening over the next week. So I'm pretty excited about that for everybody.
The other thing that brought me back, Sal, was the analogy that SEALFIT uses. It's like, okay, I want to be a SEALFIT. I'm going in the room. I'm going to do this. I'm signed up for it. And the ones that left the crack open this much didn't have the grit to stay. The ones that closed that door were the ones that were in. And so that's just another little thing I'm thinking about. So, you got that grit and you know it. So
Absolutely. Don't let anybody else take your stuff away from you.
right, right.
Even if it's your own food devil,
That's right.
right?
Well, that's how it is today. We'll see how next week
Yeah,
unfolds.
I can't wait to hear how you guys all handled the buffer zone. I hope you have an amazing and fascinating weekend. And I'll see you back here on Monday.
Sounds good, Sally. You have a great day.
You all too.
Bye,
Thanks,
everybody.
Thanks, Sally.
Thanks, guys.
Bye, everybody.
Thanks, Sally.